Hi, I'm Roy from Roy's Garage. Today I'm going to be working on a 2002 Toyota Highlander. I'm going to show you how to replace the front strut assembly and sway bar links. These are the tools I'm going to be using today to do this job. Steering wheel jack, rubber hammer, 1/2-inch impact, 22mm socket, 17mm socket, 14mm socket, 3/8 impact, 14mm socket, 12mm socket, 3/8 ratchet, 6mm Allen wrench socket, 22mm wrench, 17mm wrench, and my camber gauge. These are the parts I'm going to be using today to do this job. This is a driver's side front loaded strut and sway bar link. Okay, first thing is you need to make the steering wheel straight, and with my steering wheel jack I'm going to secure it so it doesn't turn. Okay, so I put these two wheel nuts on to secure the rotor to the hub. So I'm going to be using a camber gauge. This is optional. If you don't have one, that's okay, but I got one. So I'm going to zero it out. So that way when I put the strut to the spindle, I can zero it out. Okay, so now we can remove it. So I'm going to be removing this sway bar link. So the sway bar link shaft is spinning, so I'm going to be using a 6mm Allen wrench to hold the center. I'm going to be removing this bracket. Okay, so I'm going to be removing these two bolts. I'm going to be removing the upper strut mount. So there's 3 bolts, one here, and one here. So your last one, don't take it off completely, just loosen it. So I'm going to position my jack right underneath this rotor. Just like that. Now I'm going to get a tie wire. I'm going to tie my caliper to the motor mount. Because when I take apart these 2 bolts, I don't want this spindle pulling out the axle. Should be good enough. So I'm going to lift up this rotor a little. Now I'm going to be removing the top bolt. to be lowering it down a little. Okay. Removing these two bolts. So I'm going to be removing the strut. Just be careful. I'm going to be removing these nuts. This is what came with the strut. I'm going to be reusing the original nuts that came with the vehicle. Okay, so I put one nut to hold up the strut. Now I'm going to be connecting my strut to the spindle. Just be careful, don't pull the spindle too far out, or else this joint might come out. Then you got a big problem. Screwing these nuts on. Okay, so we're going to be tightening up the upper portion of the strut. So we're going to be bolting up the strut. I removed the jack. I'm going to be removing this tie wire. Putting back my camber gauge. Okay, so I'm going to be zeroing this guy out. Just get it as close as possible and then tighten up these two bolts. I'm going to be putting these bracket on. Okay, putting on this bracket, putting on the sway bar link. So I'm going to be using the old nuts. You can use the new ones that come with the link, but I'd rather use the old ones. It's easier to put on. Remove my steering wheel jack and you're good to go. So that's how you replace front strut and sway bar link. If you have any questions, comment below. Give me the thumbs up and I see you in the next video. Aloha.